All right, today we're gonna bitch and moan about getting banned from the Apple support community. And in the meantime, I'm gonna finish up a job here. This is a pretty botched Touch IC job that I will let you guys take a look at. This is here for data, and somebody tried to do a 6 Mason chip replacement and ran into a little bit of trouble. So we're missing a bunch of pads, and we are also missing, it looks like we're missing a bunch of these little dudes in here. Now those guys, those caps are one of the caps that are required. They don't connect to ground on one side. They're actually communication between the Cumulus chip and the Mason chip. Hey, there's Rami. Yeah, this topic sucks. And we're missing a little resistor here. If you don't have that resistor there, you're not going to have you're gonna have like lines in the screen. So this phone right now, it came in, I had to do some repair. It even had solder balls. You can still see a solder ball peeking out by this coil. It had another one here by the CPU that worried me, but right now it boots. So it boots and it makes an image. So we are gonna just go ahead and see if we can fix up this touch. Let's first check on whether or not we need to whether or not any of these pads are required. I don't think so. I think they're all NC with the possible exception of this one. Why can I see a little piece of metal there? I think I'm going to leave it alone though because it's super late. What did you get banned for? Yep, I got banned, and so did Mark. Mark, who only made that one post. We both got banned out of the blue today. Usually I've been banned before, and they kind of give you these messages like, watch out, you need to stop posting questionable advice. And this time they did not give us the courtesy of that. They just shut that show down. So looks like lots of stuff myself. Yeah, so I am banned. I will show you guys. Let's see if I can put up my little email I got from them. I saved some of these emails. Let's see if this works. Let's see if I click here. Yep, here's one. Let's see, can you guys see this if I click over here? Yeah, I think so. All right, this is funny because this page is the weekly iPhone hardware at Apple Support Community Forum. These are, at the bottom, the weekly top participants. So these are the posts that people have voted up, and I'm on the list. Isn't that awesome? Number 25 for this week with 87 points at Apple Support Community Forum. Too bad, you're banned. We don't like what you have to say. We think you give questionable advice. Here's one that was really particularly this one was sad for me because I responded to this. My iPhone has been damaged by water. What do I do now? With standard water damage advice. That stayed up, and then a guy came along and said, don't over open your phone. Don't let anybody open your phone, or else Apple will not accept it for out of warranty swap. They will not let you put your wet open phone with 3 crisp $100 bills on the counter. They will not take it from you. Of course they will. That's ridiculous. They're no dummies. So then this guy Lawrence Finch came around, and he was writing in here, and he asked, this is where Marcin Berman, who I think is one of our YouTube guys, and he's been doing a fantastic job over there on the forums this week. So he's been very good with his responses, and he doesn't seem to piss anybody off. And so he said, hey, you guys are deleting device right and left, but you don't ever delete things like put it in rice. And then this guy Lawrence Finch comes along and says, if you have documented evidence that putting it in rice or silica gel is wrong, please post links. I've seen lots of posts from independent unauthorized repairers saying rice is bad, but all of them sound self-serving, and none of them have ever provided documentary evidence based on scientific analysis, and I don't mean YouTube videos. So I answered this, and I thought it was a good answer, and it stayed up for a whole day, so I was really thinking that they were kind of becoming more tolerant, but I was wrong, because here is the notice that I got this morning that said, "I'm sorry, Jessa, we have removed your post. My iPhone has been damaged in water because it contains some questionable advice." So this is what I had said about, hey, rice can't hurt and isn't controversial. And I told him, I love this response, rice can hurt, and here's why. I'd argue that rice is the single biggest killer of wet iPhones. I love this answer. I'd love to just copy and paste it every single day. So you guys can read it later because it's long, but it talks about why this is a big deal. So why does rice hurt phones? And it's because it makes you feel like you've done something, and therefore you're tempted to put it on a charger. So adding electricity to a phone that's got water molecules on the board or has short circuit corrosion is going to turn no damage or focal damage into catastrophic damage. And then I love this. Let's think about that reality of the water in the initial, and Water Plus iPhone in those initial minutes, because here's the deal. In some phones, the water really doesn't penetrate the logic board. It doesn't actually make it through the ear speaker and all the way to the logic board. It just kind of sits inside the phone. So if you opened up a phone right away, if everyone could do this, if everyone would just open up a phone, grab it out of the toilet, open it up, you could dry these drops off with a paper towel, let the phone just dry out in the air, and it would probably be fine. You might have to change your screen or your charge port, but the board would be fine. So if you took a group of phones that were like this initially, where it had water inside, but it wasn't on the logic board, if you opened them all up, dried them, then they'd all be fine. The problem is that if you take that same set of phones and you put them in rice, which is doing nothing, then in some of the phones, the water is going to roll around the kind of oily inside, oleophilic, hydrophobic iPhone interior, and it's going to land on the logic board. So that, combined with the battery voltage that's always live in the board, even when it's powered off, means that now you've got water molecules on the board where none existed previously. And then in the least, the evaporated water molecules are going to leave behind mineral deposits on the board and under chips where none existed previously. And then if you combine that with the temptation to add the charger voltage, that's when you're really going to damage the board. That is the problem with rice. Catastrophic damage because of being tempted to plug it in. So why is this such a myth? Why is it such a pervasive myth if it's so bad? The problem with it is that some of the set will not experience water migrating to the board, and so they will turn on after rice, creating the illusion that rice cured the phone. But that's not true. The only thing that happened with those guys is luck, combined with more luck that water didn't touch the board. And then here is the other thing. For phones that are in that second category, way back at the beginning, the ones that got that instant damage, that got that instant corrosion, the water did get straight to the logic board right away, rice will always make those phones worse. So if you imagined opening up those phones right away, right after the logic board got fried, the damage would still be focal. It would be just C5202 or just a little bit of corrosion in one spot. You might have a full short to ground, but it's going to be in one spot. So those you could clean. If everybody had a phone like that, I would do water damage repair for the sake of the phone, because that's going to be focal damage, easy to clean up. So the problem is that if you take focal damage phone plus rice plus charger, then you're going to turn it into a whole big mess. So that's the problem. And then I went on about how I object to the fact that, hey, the reason why you guys don't like this advice or you won't let us post here is because you guys think that Apple is not, that you're protecting people from, to preserve their ability to pay $300 for a new phone to Apple. I don't think Apple turns people away who have $300 bills at a phone, no matter what the condition of the phone. They're going to take the money. They're going to sell a phone. They're not selling these things at a loss. So I asked for a clear answer for this, and I've asked for examples. Has anyone ever been denied an out of warranty swap? Hey, can I pay you $300 for a new phone? Did anybody ever get the answer? No, you can't because you opened your phone up. I don't think so. So I was bummed out that they deleted they deleted that post. That was I really, really liked that post because I thought that was exactly what the deal was with rice. So, and I'm especially bummed out because they didn't delete it for like well over 24 hours. So I was like, yes, they're coming around. And then no. So apparently there was some big brouhaha with the regulars, and the host people were, traveling or on vacation or taking a nap. And so they woke up today and said, yeah, we can't have that. And so they deleted a bunch of stuff and kicked out me and Mark. I don't know if they kicked out any of you guys or not, but still, Apple Support Community Forum is the #1 Google hit for something like iPhone water damage. Those people are telling the world, oh, you have your precious baby picture strapped in your water phone. Too bad, you're SOL. It's your fault. You should have backed it up. You're an idiot. And now you lost your memories. Shame on you. And there's nothing that can be done about it. It's completely unrepairable. There's no way. It's impossible. No one can get data off of that phone. You're screwed. And that is wrong. That is wrong. Aside from that, it is so wrong to tell the lady that came in here yesterday, she just went to the Apple store and they made fun of her 5S. That phone is so old, you should really just replace it. She doesn't even like having a phone. She only has it to call her grandkids. She doesn't even need a smartphone at all. And her 5S clearly had a cracked LCD. They told her it was unrepairable. Cracked LCD on a 5S, unrepairable. You got to buy a new phone. So she was like, I don't think so. So she left. And then she just happened to be walking her dog and went by the shop, stopped in, and left with a perfectly working 5S 15 minutes later. Just ridiculous. So I really would like to see you guys help me out because I am down for the count to go over there and to be kind and rational and to continue to let people know what all their options are for repair. I would never send anybody with an in-warranty phone anywhere except for the Apple Store. Absolutely, they should go to the Apple Store. And there's lots of other repairs, Touch ID problems, that should go to the Apple Store. But there's plenty of options where it may be in the consumer's best interest to not go to the Apple Store. So let them know what all their options are in a kind, gentle way, and we will see what happens. No, it's not just you. Jess's internet is flipping a pan. Well, I can't help that. All right, let's see if we can fix this so that I can get out of here since it's 12:30 and I have to teach tomorrow. All right, so let's look at this. This is a botched Touch IC job that we're going to try to do. So let's start by putting back the missing dudes. So let's see, we need to put back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these guys. Hopefully Cumulus is intact. It looks a little bit beat up, but we will give it a go. Yeah, I'm hoping that, I know you guys complain about stream. It looks fine from here. Oh, no, it's red. Okay, so it looks like it is dropping some frames over here. So that's, yeah, dropped frames. 13% dropped frames, 7,000 dropped frames. That's a lot. There's really nothing going on there's nothing I can do about that. Top of the line internet here. I will have to try to see if I can pick a different stream time, but you can always, come back later. This will turn into a video and you can spend that time instead going over to Apple Support Community Forum, and you guys be the voice for those consumers to make sure that everybody is aware of all of their options and that they understand these, common hardware faults. I mean, they're just so dumb. There's a question on there right now earlier today that was, hey, my cell phone repair shop guy said it was really common to have Touch ID not work after an iPhone 5S repair. Is that true? No, hell no, it's not true. That guy's a douche. And the answer those guys said was, no one here can tell you the answer to that. Well, that's because you banned everybody that knows the answer to that. All right, I'm going to grab this off of a donor board. There we go. We can get a little bit more space. I'm going to take off Mason so that we can actually get at these components. I'm quite surprised Jessa didn't have Apple go hardcore against her Apple account, using her location and disabling all devices that came from that location. Yeah, that's what they did. So yeah, we kind of looked into it. So I haven't asked Mark what happened if he tried to log in anywhere else. But yeah, mine goes to the banned user, the message that's at the top here. Bing, bing, that's the message I get. You have been banned. So I sent my messages to the support email. We'll see if they respond. If they respond. But honestly, if it is, to me, just absolutely egregious for a company to scam people. You can't tell somebody that it's impossible to recover their data, that it's just that they're completely out of luck. You can't tell somebody that when it's absolutely not true, and you know it's not true. And if you don't know it's not true, you should know it's not true, because it's your product. Oh, that just drives me crazy. I mean, you can't lie to people. You can choose not to repair, that's fine, but choosing to withhold information, that's wrong. And not even withhold information. You have people willing to volunteer. I mean, I don't benefit if Joe Blow from Washington State goes and gets his phone fixed at Apple or anywhere else. It doesn't matter to me any. Come on, little dude. This might be a job for hot tweezers. Definitely a job for hot tweezers when I'm using the magnetic tweezers. There we go. Let's stick him on a different way. I make it known to my clients that phones are repairable. Well, that is great. Nivaldo has been banned from PayPal. Huh. Nivaldo's the same guy that always wants a quote and says he can't get the quote from iPad Rehab, and now he's telling me he's banned from PayPal. Huh. I bet they're watching and learning from your videos right now. No, they honestly think that I'm a terrible person and a total sleaze. It's really an interesting study in human nature. You know, these guys that are the forum regulars, they saw, you know, Mark made this. Mark got here Sunday. He hadn't even looked at Apple support community forums for like 2 years. He made some posts about front camera or touch disease like ages and ages ago, over a year ago. And he shows up and I said, hey Mark, you gotta, you know, help out with the Apple support community stuff. He's like, what are you talking about? So he said, you know what, I'm going to go on here, and he can be a really patient and nice guy. So he's not as hot-headed and inflammatory as I am. So he went on there and answered some questions in a very mild way, pointing people to Apple a lot. And then one of the things you have to do to get your iPhone specialist badge, you have to ask a question. Well, you know, it's kind of like, well, I don't know what to ask. I can't think of anything that I want to ask that those guys would be able to tell me. So he finally decided, you know what I want to know from those guys? I want to know what the kind of standard advice is that they're giving for data recovery. So he wanted to know, what are they telling people who have a data recovery situation with a dead phone? So he posted a question that was kind of like, well, what's going on in my life? He'd just been through Hurricane Irma. So he posted the question, and we did a stream on this that was, hey, you know, I've got a dead phone here after Hurricane Irma. It has important data on it. What are my options? And, you know, Apple regulars jumped over and said, impossible, your SOL, you should have backed it up. Like, that's the like meanest and last thing that anybody needs to hear who actually has just realized that they lost all of the baby pictures. Like that's just mean to rub it in their face and to kind of, well, it's your own fault, you know. That's just rude. Let's get those guys apart. Lay down. Go where you're supposed to go. All right, now we're out of room for hot tweezers, and the rest are gonna have to go on by good old hot air. Let's settle these guys down first. Apple wants your phone so it can sell them a second and third time. You are absolutely right about that. All right, let's get these guys to behave. So Mark posted that question. He posted it for the legitimate reason of, hey, I have to ask a question to earn the iPhone Specialist badge. And, you know, this is I would like to know, what is it that you guys are saying? What's your standard advice on this? And he asked for a legitimate reason. He's not trying to scam anybody. He's not trying to advertise. I've never posted a link to me. And the forum guys were just like, what a sleazy shop, because they looked at his post history and they figured out that, you know, hey, this guy is from the independent repair community, therefore an automatic asshole, and therefore this must be some kind of an attack. And they kept using that word, the attack, invasion of the independent repair guys. All of these tweezers are heavily effed up. Let's see if I can find a pair up here that is less messed up. The students worked at my station today doing the sex toy mini, and all my tweezers are even more jacked than usual. All right, here we go. But they did a good job this week on the sex toy mini. They got that fixed. All right, come on, little buddy. So that thread turned into just a bloodbath. And ever since then, you know, these guys are now convinced that, you know, I might have been on the fence about whether or not Jessa knew what she was talking about and if she was totally a douchebag, but now I know for sure, absolutely, she is the sleaziest shop ever. Motivated to try and scam the good users of Apple products out of their right to pay Apple for a new refurb. We can't have that. All right, coming up here. Moving to trailer park. And dropped feed. It's in the green right now. Maybe it'll pick back up. Yeah, I really don't know what's up with Time Warner. I think maybe something's up with like this time of night. We definitely notice a drop in internet when school lets out. So maybe this is like porn o'clock or something. Maybe like, in fact, the landlord, that's probably what it is. All the tenants that live upstairs, you know, maybe they are streaming or something. Watching a little Netflix and chilling right about now. Taking up some bandwidth on the block. Yay, last dude. Alright, let's tidy these guys up. Tidy up the trailer park. I still remember one student that slid the whole trailer park. His name was Alan, and then for the rest of the week we called him Hurricane Alan. All right. ISPs would never oversell their network connections. You're right. It must be something else. Ooh, there's a little solder ball on the resistor that we need. I'm new, so pardon my dumb question that just scrolled up. But do you work on Samsung as well? Yes, we do. Mark did a 6-week. I sent Mark on a 6-week task, kind of like a sabbatical. The iPad rehab sabbatical for Mark. where I said, go figure out everything there is to know about Samsung hardware. So he did great with that. So now we've even started offering not just data recovery, but some no power Samsung fixes. So yeah, absolutely. So, but because Mark has, Mark kind of is the king of our Samsung stuff, that now he's the one that needs to do some streams. But his schedule, he has to work until 10 o'clock at night during course week. Course week is tough. And then he's usually not up for starting a stream like now. He went home. Smart man. We started at 8:30 today, and it is 12:44 a.m. and Mark is in bed. Probably not asleep, but he's in bed. All right, let's get this resistor back in place. There you go, buddy. All right. Now I think that this Mason job is probably straightforward, with the one possible exception of this is a little bit of exposed something. So I'm not really sure. I'm actually going to look up and see what does that pad go to on the schematic if I can. So let's see if we can do that. Let's go to screen. Let's go to ZXW. Let's go to iPhone 6. Let's go to Mason. So it is this one. And what's your address, yo? L10. All right, let's find the schematic for iPhone 6. iPhone 6. Where are you, iPhone 6? iPhone 6? Porn o'clock. Yeah, it's porn o'clock, I think. All right. I stay away from ASC. I would be banned immediately for flying off the handle with my first post or response to an Apple Safe topic. Yes, well, it is pretty funny that one of the things that I posted this week got marked. It was almost tongue-in-cheek. Gordon, who I know from Belgium, had posted a question about error 6, and he later solved it with 3 utools. And let's see what happens if I just search for good old U2402. So he was asking about an iTunes error. So I did the standard response where I said, well, what you need to do is read this handy article from the great folks at Apple. And I posted the link to their lame, doesn't tell you anything, all right, driver out. All right, that probably won't matter if it's ground, I'm gonna guess. People on ASC need a safe space, yes. So then I answered that with the, not screen, this one. I answered it with the standard advice of, well, why don't you read this great document? It'll tell you all you need to know about iPhone's errors from apple.com. Link, and then, then later the Apple host came by and marked that as Apple recommended. Yeah, you've deleted hours of content that I have written to be helpful, to actually help people, tell them real answers that are not just a Apple support document. They've already read that stuff. They don't know. They can't get help. You delete that, and then you mark my one kind of joke one as Apple recommended. That is something else. We're just going to kind of tin over these pads to warm them up. Definitely don't want to put any braid down here. That's for sure. All right, that's good enough. And let's stick a new Mason on here. All right, take your picture off the shaming wall. Did you get unshamed? Just after you shamed me yesterday about cutting 6S TriStar shields, I did today's without cutting. Some progress. Please send more shaming. It works. Okay, will do. I have learned a lot about shaming from my time at Apple Support Community. So yes, I have to schedule my Kilted Tim stream. Definitely gonna do that now. it's hard to kind of plan during course week though. Not a lot of free time. All right, today was no power day, so on no power day, we try to see as many examples as we can and work through them so that they can kind of get an experience base of different categories of faults. So no power day, we warn everybody on day one. By Wednesday, you're gonna be going, I hate board repair. I never want to look at a board again. Why did I ever come here? But it'll get better. Thursday is charging in TriStar, and everybody likes being able to do their micro BGA and get stuff fixed and address some tough stuff. So tomorrow we'll be back to them fixing stuff. All right. Okay, let's see. Whoopsie. Jessa, you seem to know a lot about OBS. What? I do? No, I really don't. That's got to be a troll. No, I can't mansplain OBS to anybody. All I do, literally all I do is just click the obvious stuff. So like that thing up there, I clicked image plus, and then I had a screenshot of my actual email that said, hey, you're banned. So then I dragged it to the top, resized it, and then I said plus, text, made text font, change color, change. It's just easy stuff. I really don't know anything about settings or whatever. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Lewis came over here and was like, Jessa, your stream sucks because you've got this box checked where you really shouldn't, and that's why it's dropping frames like crazy. And you're just sitting there blaming it on the internet because you're a dumb chick. I could totally see that happening. All right, let's see. Haven't you been banned for quite a while? No, I was banned. This is my third time being banned, but the times I was banned before, it was, you better watch out, you're gonna get banned, stop posting questionable advice. I mean, it's shocking what they consider questionable advice. I'll show you another example that I have, because you get an email every time they delete something. It was really funny though, because they delete so much stuff that I wrote. They pretty much, they'll delete stuff crazy left and right, but usually they come with an email that says, "Oh fuck, yay, let's check the balls. Let's edit that, and let's stop chatting and pay some attention." Oh no, it's red. That's bad for you guys. Oh, that'll settle down. That'll settle down. All right, I'm going to do it the way I normally do it, which is in this orientation. So the first time, they were like, okay, we know everybody gets passionate, so we're going to have you take a break, and you're going to be banned for 1 week. And then you come back a week later, and then they kind of start your countdown of how much they're going to tolerate out of you for deleting stuff. But it was funny that this time, at some point, they gave up on informing me why they were deleting things. So the deletes are always, your post contained questionable advice. Your post contained a post or a competition. What? No, it really didn't. And so the last one I got said, your post is deleted because, period. Because we can. Because we can. And we can ban you because we can. We don't have to give you any reason because it's our forum and not yours. And we do not care about anything you have to say. We are happy to continue lying to our customers, telling them that they have to upgrade their phones, telling them their old phones are not repairable. All right, well, let's see what happens with this. So we'll let that cool down. Or is that Lewis? Lewis is not banned. Lewis has never gone over there. Lewis has never answered a single question. And all Lewis does is send me messages all day going, stop trolling Apple. I know you're on Apple support community forum right now. Put down, step away from the Apple. So it's funny. It seems like getting a quote from Jessa seems a little expensive on my side. But if that's how expensive board repair is, I suppose. Well, it depends on what you want to do. All right. When I do, I can't even get my cam, I just get my screen. I don't know what that means. Wear it like a badge. I bet she's placed on the banned list for not getting invited to Apple special events in the spaceship. Ha ha ha. All right, that's funny. You sure you're inserting a scene that's from your camera? So you're trying to like do this, like make a camera. All I did is I had to get an HDMI splitter because OBS can only see the one. My graphics card has two, I don't know, channels. What are they called? I don't know. Lewis just made fun of me like 10 minutes ago for saying burn a USB drive. Apparently you don't say that. And I was like, yeah, this computer's so slow. It burns drives. Like it makes ones and zeros with a lighter and like takes them into paper that's stuffed inside the little USB stick. So we'll see. Whenever you see red, Jessa, freeze, stop what you're doing, and wait for the stream to get better. Well, it's yellow and green right now, so that's okay. Seems tonight is streaming issue night. It seems like every night is streaming issue night. Hi, iPad Rehab. I sent a phone to Chris Long for repair, and he streamed it, and I think you were there on the stream. Huh? He couldn't get it working enough for data recovery. Are you willing to give it a go? What? Well, I don't know. What's wrong with it? You'll have to tell us what's wrong with it. How many of the high-level forum snowflakes have gamed the system? See, that's what they do to us. They say, like, I bet these sleazy repair shops are all ganging up and they've got some, like, underground community. No. Are you streaming on dial-up? Yes, that's what it is. It's dial-up. I'd love to do board level repair. Shit, I don't even do charging ports on iPad minis. Well, you should learn to check FL7500 and make sure your mini needs a charge port. We just talked about that today. I think 50% of the iPad minis that I see are just missing gas gauge filter. All right, Jessa must be picking back neighbor's Wi-Fi or something. No, I'm pretty sure that this computer is definitely wired to the router. This may be something as simple as our router is dying. Use another account. You know what? I tried to log in from my old account, and I think they banned our. You know what? That's probably why the stream is bad. That they tell you in the you're gonna get banned. They said, and we're gonna tell on you. We're gonna call your school. We're gonna call the cops, and we're gonna call your internet service provider. So you're gonna be in trouble, and they're gonna throttle your stream. Someone in the building must have started a torrent. That is probably exactly what's going on. All right, dropped frames, 17,610 dropped frames. Now I want the little drop frame. I want the little drop frame counter. She should really get Time Warner Cable to issue a trouble ticket on this connection. Oh, they've been out here 4 or 5 times. And they say, works fine. And then we'll do like a, you do a speed test on the one in Toronto, which is not far, works great. If you do the one in California, it's slow as shit. Let's see whether or not this phone has touch. And now, see, I didn't think about that. Let's see if we can turn this camera on. Our ISP is Spectrum, formerly Time Warner Cable. Ooh, is it gonna work? What's your problem? Come on, you can do it. Work. Switch. Is that gonna work? And then poof. All right. Don't bother contacting your ISP about issues in your home network. They do nothing. Yeah. Well, we've gone through a couple of routers, so we should probably have like kind of one just on standby. That's not gonna work. You can't work. You're totally dead. I know I didn't charge you last night, but I really just want you to hang out for a second. You can do it. Come on, I see that you're outputting. Good job, little camera. You can do it. Fuck you, turned off. All right, we'll have to go back to Microscope. Oh, now it's not gonna let me do that at all. Great, that's fantastic. All right, that means it's time to be done. So let's see whether or not we have touch on this bad boy and get going. No input signal, yes. All right, maybe you've discovered a wormhole. Maybe I should post on Apple Support Community Forum a question that says, every time I try to stream bitching about you guys, it drops frames left and right. I don't know what's up. I don't know the deal with this. All right. Okay, let's see if, oh, this screen, I better get one that actually doesn't, this, I remember this screen was here for a phone that had touch problems. Let's grab any screen except for that one. Here we go. Let's see if this screen is gonna work. If you actually have a decent router that you bought that has minimal bug reports on Google, then it's time to ask your ISP about your internet stability. Yes, we've had them out. In fact, I mean, we're on like the business one where you're supposed to like have their personal cell phone number and be able to be like, yo, it's not working. But I kind of feel like they come out here and they're like, yeah, this is a rabbit hole. And then they just leave. They're like, what's the minimum we can do to get you to say service call satisfied? Greg M., did you hear what Jessica said about sending her a phone Chris couldn't do the stream cut her off before she answered? I said, you're going to have to tell me what's up with that phone. All right. I mean, honestly, Chris, like, spends a lot more time on stuff than I do. So, you know, who knows? What's wrong? You have to tell us what's wrong with the phone. Let's see if this will boot. For 1080p 60, YouTube wants an upload speed of 4,500. Ooh, mine is 3,100. You're using restream to upload to YouTube, and Twitch probably increases the need. Ooh, maybe I should stop streaming to Twitch. Do you think that would help? That's a good idea. Grabs pitchfork. Okay, do we have touch? Yay! We have touch. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Awesome. Okay, so that's great. And that, let's just check this. I'm going to see if we have a passcode so that I can set this up. All right, great, we do. Okay, perfect. All right, so that one is fixed. And we can recover it, at least in theory. Let me see if that's the right passcode. I will pass that over there. All right, what's the passcode, dude? It is bing, 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 bing. Is that the right passcode? Yay, trust. Got it. All right, great. Okay, since you are a mod, would you ask her again for me? Or is there a better way to ask Jessica a question if she is willing to try? Hey, it doesn't matter what I say. I'm not in charge. You got to talk to Sunday. That means you got to go to iPadRehab.com, click Start Repair, and then tell her about your phone, and then she'll answer you. So there you go. All right. So I think we are done. We fixed it for touch, and oh, I will end with another little blurb about more frustrating annoyance from Apple Support Community Forum. Let's see what else is in here. I saved some of my favorites. Let's see what this one is. Oh, that's the one that we looked at already. What is this first one? Yeah, I did this. We have questionable, inappropriate, or questionable advice on this incredibly detailed question. What do all the little screws in the iPhone 7 do? Well, let's see. I said there's a few screws that provide a connection to the frame. It's unlikely that anybody would have taken them out. Sounds like you're missing screws that would hold a shield. Those screws can be ordered and replaced if you look around the internet. I doubt you'll have a problem. Worst case scenario, blah, blah, blah. There you go. This guy had done a DIY screen replacement. Somebody else had done it. He went to the cell phone repair shop. They said, hey, you're missing screws. This is questionable advice. How do you know what those screws do? You shouldn't have opened an iPhone. What's wrong with you? Hi, Jessa. We've removed your post because it contains some questionable advice. Let's see. What's this one? We've edited your post because it's not right. They like knocked off the entire. Oh yeah, they don't want me. They deleted this. You can buy an inexpensive USB ammeter on eBay. Nope, can't tell anybody that. Normal phone should charge 1 amp. They were asking about not charging or holding a charge. Oh, this is my favorite. Look at this. We've edited your post. I love this. Because, period. Because we can. Because we hate you. Because suck our dick. Thank you, Apple support community staff. Yeah, can't tell anybody any of that. You know, charge port, battery, all are repairable. Apple can swap the battery. The rest you got to find somebody else. You can't tell anybody anything real. Nope, that is inappropriate. Questionable advice. Oh, this drives me crazy. This was my favorite. Charging cable only goes in halfway. They have removed my post because it contained inappropriate language. My post, Jessa, inappropriate language. All right, so this is what the other guy said. He said this. This is what the other guy said. Attempting to service an iPhone yourself or having it serviced by an unauthorized service provider will permanently forfeit all rights to support on the forum and to support or service or candy canes from Apple forever. Fuck you. And so I replied to that and said, that's not really true. Source, blah, blah. More sources, blah, blah. And this is what he said. Fact. Claiming otherwise and advising people to do so is irresponsible and a violation of the terms of use. No, it's not. I read the fucking terms of use. It doesn't say anything other than be nice. Be nice, stay on topic, which you're not doing. And so I said, not fact. Advising people, blah, 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 blah. It's not automatically the best option. What is a violation is your constant harassment for anyone who doesn't agree with his limited worldview. And then this is what he said. Fact. Man in iPad Rehab has repeatedly been called out for making such posts and failing to disclose that they have a financial interest in steering people away from authorized Apple part swappers that rape you for money and into using the good people of unauthorized service providers that use salvage, stolen, counterfeit, and second-rate knockoff parts. So this is what I said that is offensive, and my post is deleted. His post is fine, but mine is deleted. I value the opinion of Kilted Tim, who doesn't run this forum or work for Apple, about the same as any other straight up bully. I don't receive any compensation from helping people find the best local repair for them, whether that's Apple or elsewhere. You know, blah, 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 blah. Whining, rant. And that is the end of our Apple support community banned rant and botched Touch IC repair. We will see you next time and hopefully have less dropped frames. 23,000 drop frames.